Hey everyone, today on the G3 Boardroom, we are going to be talking about Omens of Destiny, which is sort of an RPG-based game by Joe Mead over at Noble Quests. This game is very RPG-like. It's a board game, though. It is a prequel to, Mystic Forces. Mystic Forces is an RPG that Noble Quests have had for a number of years now, and this board game sort of takes place earlier in the the
takes
timeline.
place in the same storied universe.
Yeah, there's not that you don't need to know about anything. There's no like crossover. But if you saw our Inside Board Games where we talked to Joe, he was telling us that there's a few things that exist in this universe, but in the Mystic Forces it is now destroyed, or something like that. So anyways, if you've ever played Mystic Forces, this game should be pretty familiar, at least in some of the lore and some of the
lore was. But this is a preview, so let's talk about what's in this box here.
Yes.
First, it's important to note.
Yes, this is a preview. This is not meant to be a review of the game and every single facet after playing it 100 times.
And we have a pre-production copy of the game, so what you're seeing here might not necessarily reflect what you're actually getting in your box. But what you are getting in your box is you're getting 3 different storyline quests, you're getting 6 one-off quests, you're getting intro quests, you're getting varying levels of difficulty. There's a lot to chew on here. I would say I would probably call this, I called it earlier, a dungeon crawler, and Bob said it had no dungeon.
So then I think it was Jason that said it.
Well, then we said, well, maybe it's a countryside crawler.
Countryside crawl.
But that sounds like a pleasant Sunday walking through the country.
Right.
What's wrong with that, though?
Well, that's the thing. Is normally I don't have this stack of monsters to fight when I'm strolling the countryside.
Well, if it's Australia, you might.
Well, that's true. But I'm not in Australia. So what you get is an overland map here where the group is going out to certain places, unexplored or explored, running side quests, basically trying to accomplish your goals from your campaign or your quest, whichever you're doing at that specific time. Now, when you get into combat, you end up over here on your combat board where you can tactically move your guys around and manipulate the creatures into a less than advantageous position so you can actually start to defeat them. Now, what we had done, we didn't do that. We just rushed them and did our best to kill them, which didn't work. And then we moved them over to where he'd be weaker and took them out there. And then the third board you have here is a quest board. That was kind of interesting because when you have the quest, it could be anything, but you're going from place to place, and you're drawing these cards that tell you things that are happening. And again, it was Bob said, it's kind of interesting because it feels like you're going over there and somebody tells you, hey, they're not over here, they're over there.
Yep.
And so then you got to go to the
Princess
next
is in
one.
another castle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got a lot to chew on here, and you got all these events that pop up when you go to different places on the map. You got a stack of monsters that you would not believe. The quests were interesting. Again, just barrels of weapons, barrels of armor that all have different effects going on.
And I was going to make a note that you got to be a little bit smarter about that before you start.
Yeah.
Of which weapons and which items can add and subtract certain attributes.
If you got big heavy armor and a big heavy weapon, you're not
I
going
wasn't
to have
hitting
a lot of
anything.
luck. But if you connect, you're going to do some damage.
Yeah, I like that you can swap items it's sort of like the like I said, it has its the bones is the good old fashioned RPG where you have the what
RPG?
No, not that kind of RPG.
RPG? What's this? What kind of RPG is this?
RPG!
Are you shooting rubber bands? RPG
He's talking about
is on your
rocket power
shoulder.
grenades.
Yeah.
And how do you fire it?
Oh,
It's got a trigger on it.
Okay. But anyways, it's got the RPG bones, and so I love that you're rolling the multi-sided dice. But you do have all these items and things that you can freely share amongst your party. And I know that we always do some optimizing of our gear before playing.
But as pointed out previously, we are neither skilled nor lucky, and there is dice rolling in this game.
Yes.
And it did not go my way. This is pre-production dice, and it's simply not up to snuff. It cursed me at every turn.
these pre-production dice roll way too low.
So get the production dice.
Yeah, those will roll much higher.
Right. But, like I said, we got a lot of variety here. There's a lot of different characters to choose from who have different and interesting effects on them. And there's even a way to save the game, sort of.
Yeah.
You write down what you have. They provide the sheet. You write down what you got, how far you've made it, and you're good to go.
And you can customize the characters as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're not totally locked in.
Right.
Another RPG thing. You get their advancement points that you can use to increase your strength.
Yep.
Yeah. And
even throughout the game too, as well.
Use a nice dry erase to go ahead and change your attribute level so your guys become something that's really natural to you.
Yep.
And you can start filling in some of these gaps. And we got to an intelligence test, and perhaps not surprisingly, we did not do very well.
It looks like Jason had mentioned like these big stacks. There's stacks of cards all over here. This big stack of monster and stacks of all these other things. The game is a very robust, full game, but you don't go through all these.
No.
It's not like I've got to kill every monster in here before the game is over, because it's a designed to be played in a number of scenarios and your blitz quests and your side quests and combat. All these big stacks, that just means replayability.
Exactly.
And
I was going to say that too. Even though you have a limited number of like quests, stories, unlimited. Scenarios and options and configurations. So
you got replayability here that'll last you a very long time. You're getting a lot in this box.
And I like the idea of, as an adventure game, it's still structured.
Oh yeah.
It still has a lot of lore. You have a story that you're following through, but there's a lot less. There's no chance of it going off the rails. And other types of games you can.
Well, we were talking before about back when we've DM'd other RPGs, and just the people were trying to get them to go here, and they're just going way over there, just nowhere near where they were supposed to go.
Yeah.
Well, this one there's some, because the like I said, it has its RPG bones, but it has all the muscle of a board game, so it's got those rails that kind of keep you on task and from going way too off. But
Not to say that affects the the variability at all. There's plenty of it there as well.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Yes.
And that's important to know too. You don't have to do what it says to do on these quests. This is just your overall goal. You can just go wandering around or and knocking off random events,
exactly.
Or create your own. I guess even.
Yeah. Eventually you could.
Maybe.
So I'm not clever enough to do so. That's why I do this. But
that's what I was saying. It can kind of take the place of having somebody to sit down and spend all the time to design their own.
Yeah.
Adventure.
You don't have to design your own. Noble Quest
he's
has
done
already
a lot
done
of
it for you.
Yeah, and the Noble Quest has the heritage of the RPG. So a lot of these quests on here are just they're well thought out by someone who's played a lot of RPGs and has that experience.
Right. So I believe this one is coming to Kickstarter here in March of 2024, and so check them out. Omens of Destiny.
We'll put the link in the description.
He'll put the link in the description.
Definitely check it out. If you're excited about this game, let us know in the comments. If you enjoy RPGs and seeing things like this, let us know that too. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can see more things like this.